Hi everyone, welcome back. See on social therapy on eradicating shame. Here are my colleagues.
Yeah, Zenith Banigo. Today, together, we will succeed in eradicating every trace of shame.
All right, thank you, Zenith. So, see on the topic eradicating shame. This is episode 2 on eradicating shame. And before we proceed, just a recap on the concept of shame. From the psychological point of view, we have seen that shame is a universal emotion felt by all with varied degrees of intensity, and it's a signal with us all. And we have also agreed that what might be shame to party A might be different from what might be shame to party B. And that's correct, right?
Very correct.
All right. So we now will be elaborating more on the type of shame. So we have number 1, self-evaluation shame. When we talk about self-evaluation shame, we are talking about self-talk, self-condemnation. For example, when an individual feels that he or she cannot make a rational choice. For example, he said, I have no life to exist. I have no right to exist anymore. So at this point, the individual have chosen to give up. And that can be seen as self-evaluation shame. Then I don't know if you have ever heard or someone who have experienced self-evaluation shame.
I have experienced self-evaluation shame.
Wow.
Where I felt incapacitated.
Wow.
I felt unfit, unworthy to exist.
Wow.
I just felt that I had gotten to this point of my life at this age and I'm still this kind of person. People are casting down. Everybody thinks that I have a problem. I talk too much, I'm indebted, I'm making mistakes here and there. It's from one issue to the other. So everything put together just made me feel so not worthy.
All right.
I was feeling unworthy, and the next thing that came to mind was to commit suicide, and that feeling kept repeating itself time and time over until, by the help of this kind of conversations, I was able to pull through.
All right. So see, Janet is also a victim of it. She has experience about self-evaluation shame.
Yes.
This has to do with a personal internal evaluation.
Yes.
It's an internal evaluation because at this moment you isolate yourself.
Yes.
That thing that make you feel inabilities. When it's come all over you, you can make yourself feel that you are not useful anymore. At this point, you cannot make a rational choice.
That's
so
true.
that can be seen as an example of self-evaluation shame. Yes. Now we're looking at the second point, which is known as what? Societal shame. Now, when we talk about societal shame, we are talking about a shame which an individual or a group of people inflicting shame on another. It could be a point of humiliating the person in the public domain. When an individual or a group of people inflict shame on an individual in a public domain, is a point of humiliation. For example, someone pointing out your mistake in the public is a sign of public shame, and is also regarded as societal shame. It can also be called unwanted exposure. Then have you ever heard of people who have experienced this or experienced societal shame?
Well, fortunately, unfortunately, I am very grateful that I have been a victim of the first scenario and even this one also.
Okay.
I have had to be reduced to nothing before people because a lot of people reckon with the way I talk, my intonation and all that.
Okay.
And then friends get envious along the way and they just feel like they need to mess me up a little bit.
Okay.
So they just embarrass me in public, maybe bring one mistake to light and the likes of it, or probably talk me down to depress me.
Yeah.
And well, it has caused me shame at this point, and it's very true.
Okay.
It happens every day.
Wow. That is to say that public, when you talk about social shame, it also can be regarded as a public elimination. When somebody are being eliminated.
Yes.
Embarrassment.
Yes.
There are some people that find joy in pointing people errors in the public.
Sure.
And that is very bad.
Oh, you're right.
So it's a point for you and I, wherever you are out there, that is not the best way to make correction. That is not the best way to, correct someone. You can do it politely. You can do it in a nice way. Because sometimes the person that you are passing the information to, or the person you are trying to pass this shame to, might not be able to bear the capacity of it.
You're right.
Try to be an agent of love. Show love to the person, even in the public when the person makes a mistake. It could be grammatical error. Of course, no man is an island, and no man is perfect. So that is about that for societal shame. Well, we'll be looking at the next point, which is family and developmental shame. Wow, this family and developmental shame has to do with the infant, the upbringing of a child. Most parents are victims of this. The upbringing of a child from the childhood. When a child rights is denied, when a child ideas are not welcome, is regarded as family and developmental shame. There is a saying that says that when a child grows with love, the child learns to love. When a child grows with hatred, the child learns to hate.
It's true.
So most parents these days don't even allow their child. There's no interrelationship between the child. The child ideas are not welcome. They don't allow the child to feel welcome. So by so doing, you have made the child psychologically, you have made that child not to integrate. At that moment, that the child will find itself being isolated, not being important.
True.
So then I don't know what you have to say out there when it comes to family and developmental shame.
Well, family and developmental shame. I wasn't raised by my biological parents.
Okay.
So I had to live with my grandmother, and then was being given to several people as a maid.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people take pleasure in running a child down, looking down on children.
Okay.
And they have a way of disgracing the child publicly in the environment where you live and all of that. So yes, I experienced it, but mine helps me to find every reason to love.
Okay.
Because the kind of hatred they showed me and disgrace and humiliations in public, you know, at some point they even told me my mother should be able to bear my bills. You know, such things made me decide within me that I will not do the same to another child, but I'll be a better person.
All right.
So through this, I learned love.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much. That is to say that family and developmental shame is also can also cause psychological trauma to a child.
Yes, it does.
And can also affect the child upbringing.
Yes.
So parents out there, it's expected of you have responsibility towards your children from their upbringing, from their infant. Teach them how to love.
Yes.
Make them feel the sense of belonging. Yes. Welcome their ideas. It might not be perfect, but make them feel belonging. By the time you make them feel belong, you will see that that child will develop psychologically, you will develop mental orders instead of mental disorder. That child will be rational in reasoning, both positive and negatively. The child will be able to be useful in the society, and also be an agent of eradicating shame by also trying to build other people. Don't look down on others. Don't intimidate those that are not perfect. Remember, you're once imperfect before you become perfect. Of course, we keep learning every day. Competency is a daily practice. Okay, so we move down to the next point, which is the last and not the least. We have what we call intergenerational shame. Wow, intergenerational shame. Intergenerational shame has to do with the transfer of shame from one generation to another. How? It is possible that shame can be transferred. True or false?
It can. It has been.
Okay, so can you just give us more explanation?
Yeah, like the story of creation where man fell and every other child being born to the world is also born into sin. Yeah. So that's what it really is.
Okay. Yes. So when we talk about intergenerational shame, like she just said, you know, an individual who has experienced shame, you know, and at the end of the day, the person's transferred, just like a kind of a transfer of aggression.
Yes.
There are some children, they call it
outcast.
Yes. So there are some people, they call it usu or whatever name they might give to them. Yeah. There are some family that experience shame, that they inherited it.
Yes.
So inherited shame.
Yes.
Like she talked about the Bible in the book of Genesis.
Yes.
Adam and Eve fell. So it become inherited sin.
Every other child
being born unknown to them. That mark is still there.
Yes.
So there are some family that has that mark of shame. But however, I don't know the level or the type of shame or the nature of shame you might fall on among these four we've just itemized. But I have a good news for you. The therapy that I have for you is, if you are you might be a victim of self-evaluation shame, or you might be a victim of societal shame, or you might be a victim of family and developmental shame, or intergenerational shame. I don't know the area you might be in, or you have experienced or victim of. I have a good news for you. The good news I have for you is that you are loved.
Yes.
Do you know that you are loved? Then do you have anything to tell someone?
Yes, you're loved, and then to eradicate shame, you must take responsibility.
Yeah.
Accept whatever it is with boldness, maturity,
Okay.
and then be patient with yourself, endure the pain.
Yeah.
Don't take it harshly.
Yeah.
And then make sure that you're not provoked, that then you now respond negatively.
Yeah.
So follow all men with peace.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll get it wrong and then the shame will be on your face. But if you handle things with love, respect, and meekness, you find that you can also reverse the shame to the person that wants to put shame on your face.
Yeah, exactly.
So that way you come out bold,
Yeah.
you come out better,
Yeah.
and without shame.
All right. Thank you so much, Zenith. So I also realize there are some people that find joy or that derive joy in putting shame on others. Sometimes on colleagues, sometimes in the office, sometimes at home. You know, some people have make it as an habit. So
Yes.
don't be an agent of don't be an agent that promotes shame.
Yes.
Be an agent of eradicating shame.
Yes.
And one of the way you can do it, as yourself, see yourself that you are created for a purpose.
Yes.
God made you for a purpose.
Yes.
The Bible said in the book of Isaiah chapter 45, if you read down from verse 15, it said no more shame.
No more shame.
He said it will take away shame.
Yes.
So God has created you for a purpose. Don't let people's opinion to bring you down.
Yes.
God has created you for a greater purpose. Work on yourself. If you have any inability that you know, because according to psychologists, there are inability in every individuals.
Yes.
That is to say, we are not perfect. You only work towards perfection. That area that you feel you are not perfect, you can work on yourself and believe God for perfection. And by so doing, you can see that God will be elevating you. You have to align yourself with on the word of God. Daily affirmation on God's word will help you to eradicate shame. So what do you have to say?
And what I want to say finally is, please don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
Everything has time and
timing.
season.
Yeah.
You're not the first mistake, you're not the first failure.
Exactly.
And you're not the first person to experience shame.
Yeah.
You don't have to eat yourself up. Keep moving. Forward ever, backward never. Keep being positive.
All right.
You will get there.
Thank you.
No more
So
shame.
remember, you are loved and you are
Yes.
created for a reason.
Yes.
You are loved, you are created for a reason.
You're loved, you're created for a reason.
No more shame.
No more shame.
No more shame.
No more shame.
Say no to shame.
Say no to shame.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Stay
Bye.
safe. God
Love
bless
you.
you. Love you.
You are loved by God.
Amen.